Everybody talks about owning real estate, but what's the real benefit? Okay, you got tax benefits, cash flow, equity. The real power is equity. It's more than just owning the property. It's being able to tap into that money that's trapped in the property and using it right. Because if you don't use it, it's just sitting there collecting dust instead of building wealth. A friend of mine came to me and he said, I got a couple properties that's gone up in value over the years, and I don't know what to do or how to even access the equity in there. So I broke down the reasons. Let's talk about the exact ways he and other smart investors use their equity to build wealth. What is equity? Equity is simple. You take the difference between what the property is worth and what you currently owe on it. So if you got a house that's worth $300,000, but you still owe the bank $200,000, boom, you got $100,000 in equity. But $100,000 in equity on paper don't mean anything. You gotta find out how to tap into it and use that equity to build wealth. One way to access the equity is a cash out refinance. You take the current mortgage and replace it with a new, larger mortgage, and then you pocket the difference in cash. Pros of this: you can get a lower interest rate, a lower monthly payment, and if you use the money properly, you can invest in more property. Cons of this: they are closing costs because you're starting a new mortgage and you're starting a new mortgage. So you're resetting the term, whether that be the 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever it is. So you have to make sure that you run the numbers and use the money responsibly. Another way to access equity in a property is through a home equity loan. Some institutions will give you a loan based on the amount of equity that you have in a property. Pros of this is you can get a fixed interest rate. You may be able to get more money out of a home equity loan than a cash out refinance. Cons: you're getting a second mortgage, so you're getting a second payment on top of your first mortgage. And you have to be willing to find a bank that'll even take second position. First position goes to your first mortgage, so if you were to sell this property, the bank that owns your first mortgage gets first dibs. And if your property goes down in value, it could be worth less than what you owe on a loan. So this one is a little bit more risky. Third way to access equity in a property is through a home equity line of credit, or a HELOC. Think of this like a credit line or a credit card based on the amount of equity you have. Pros of this: you can make interest-only payments. It's very flexible. You can use it for ongoing projects, and you can spend on it and pay it back and reuse it. Cons of this: the fact that you can just use it and pay it off and use it, it's easy to overspend on projects. And interest rates can change. They can go up over time depending on just whatever the bank feels like. And the banks can just cut it off if there are down times in the market. Quick recap: equity is the stored amount of value in a property minus what you owe on a loan. If you want to access it, you have a few ways. You want flexibility? HELOC, home equity line of credit. You want fixed payments? Home equity loan. If you want to do a reset and get some cash out, then you have a cash out refinance. Over the years, I've done a cash out refinance, and I've had a couple of lines of credit. It all depends on what works for you and how the numbers shake out. Drop in the comments, tell me which method you're considering or what's worked for you in the past. And if you want to continue getting valuable information, learning about real estate, business, money, building wealth in general, continue to walk with me on this journey. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified when I drop videos. Remember, the world is yours, and I catch you on the next one. Peace.